The mind is the most powerful tool in your arsenal. I created this podcast as a daily supplement for you to invest into your thinking. This is your
Daily Mind Medicine.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another Mind Medicine. Hope you're enjoying this show. If you are, share it with somebody. Leave us a review. Every once in a while, Bryant, who runs these podcasts, he'll send me updates on downloads and reviews. And man, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be involved in your world in whatever capacity that I am. Thank you for letting me coach you. Thank you for letting me pass on the lessons that I learn on a daily basis. You know, like I was telling somebody just the other day, the higher you go up the mountains, sometimes the more you get beat up. Sometimes the pressure intensifies the higher you get, and you have to have a good, strong reason. And a lot of people fail not because they don't have, not because they don't have talent, but because, if you try to bake a cake and you skip one ingredient, likely the recipe is not going to work out. And one of the ingredients that you cannot replace for this recipe is you have to have a good, strong reason to carry you through the downs of life. But anyways, I want to talk to you about something right now. The areas in your life that you do not need to fix. This sounds weird because a lot of gurus, a lot of self-help professionals, they primarily make a living based on telling you how to fix your life and how to fix your motive and fix your discipline and fix your focus and blah, blah, blah. But I encounter a significant portion of people via clientele, via friends, just people going about life, and they are obsessed with solving the things that don't need to be solved. Give you an example. Last week, had a coaching call with somebody on our real estate team, and he spent half of his week really diving into fixing a system that was broken, but we don't need the system. we don't need the software. We didn't need to perfect it. And in doing that, what he ended up doing is he took his focus away from the things that we desperately needed fixed, and he gave that focus to something that didn't need to be fixed. And I just hear this all the time. People are like, man, how do we find a client success director? How do we train better salespeople? How do we find a COO? How do we deal with this in the market? How do we deal with that in the market? And they are obsessed literally with the most, the problems in their business that are the most obvious, but are the least important. And maybe you're like this in your life, in your relationships, in your business. You're likely going to have a temptation to be drawn to the problems that are the most obvious, that show up the most often, but they're the least important problems for you to fix. When success is simple, there's three things you have to do to learn how to win. This is it. I'm going to simplify the game down for you. And I want you to ignore everything else. 3 things. That's it. Number 1, you have to do more of the right things. Easy. Simple. It requires you to focus on what the right things are. And most of the time, if you're honest with yourself, you'll look at your life and you'll look at the last week, last month, and you realize that you spent 70% of your time on things that don't matter. They're not the right things. You're trying to put out fires that sometimes, as an entrepreneur, you just need to let the fire burn because it's not actually carrying you forward. You got to do more of the right things. If you're going to do more of the right things, you have to suck out of your schedule the time spent on doing the wrong things. Number 2, you have to do the right things a little bit better than everyone else. Simple. You're going to go to the gym every single day. You're going to start working out. That's a great, right thing to do. But if you don't do it the right way, then you'll miss some of the benefits. The efficacy of that workout's not going to be the same. You got to do the right things, which means you have to remove the wrong things. Number 2, you have to do the right things better than other people are doing the right things. And the third thing is you have to do the right things longer than everyone else is willing to do them. It's amazing to me how people will get into this motivated frame and they'll do the right things for 4 days and then they're done. And it's like, you cannot build momentum in 4 days, my friend. You can't build anything in 4 days. If you're going to build something that everyone recognizes is great, if you're going to build something that you recognize yourself is worth it, as you're proud of, it's going to take you years. Let me just simplify the game for you and fix your expectation. You have years ahead of you of practicing the right things, being diligent, being disciplined, being focused, ignoring you're not going to get anywhere in 4 months. Now, That's not discounting the power of daily consistency. I just want to fix the expectations here that a lot of people can do the right things. They can do the right things well, but they don't do the right things long enough. So they miss out on the prize. They miss out on the benefits. And if you're honest with yourself right now, I know this episode's a little bit longer, so I'm going to wrap it up here pretty quick. If you look at yourself honestly, what you'll likely find is the same thing that I started finding 3-4 years ago when I got really serious about this. You'll start finding that you are spending your time solving problems that are temporarily painful, but long-term unimportant. Temporarily painful, but long-term not relevant, not necessity driven, not actually important to take you to your goal. So what is your goal? Is your goal to make $250,000 a year? Well, then my friend, you got to cut out the things that are not going to take you to that goal. Is your goal to make, $500,000? Do you not care about the money? Are you more interested in taking vacations with your family? What is the target first and foremost? And then what are the right things that are going to take you? You just need 2 or 3 of them. You don't need 10 of them. You need 2 or 3 of them. Number 1, do those right things more, do them better, and do them longer than anyone else. All right, let's focus. See you guys.
DailyMindMedicine.com